Janmashtami, also known as Krishna Janmashtami, is the celebration of the birth of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, who is one of the most revered deities in Hinduism. Shri Krishna was born in a time of great evil and persecution of innocent people, and he was born as a beacon of hope. The story of Janmashtami is one of the most inspiring stories, one that begins in a dark dungeon jail cell. Shri Krishna, an avatar of Vishnu, so powerful, yet his life was almost never gonna survive, and all odds were against him even before he came into this world. It all begins with a prophecy. The story begins with a prophecy in the ancient city of Mathura, which was ruled by his own mama, his uncle, King Kansa. Kansa's sister Devki married Vasudeva, a nobleman, and everyone, including Kansa, was actually very happy until this point. But on the day of their marriage, a divine prophecy, a voice from the skies, warned Kansa that because of his sinister doings, it was prophesied that the 8th child born to Devki would be his destroyer. So terrified, Kansa imprisoned Devki, his own sister, and Vasudeva, vowing to kill each of their children as soon as they were born. And soon, all the citizenry lived under his fear and a general lack of freedoms all around. One by one, as the couple began to have children, Kansa would go to their jail cell and mercilessly kill all of their children, and in this way the first 6 children born to Devki were killed. However, the 7th child was miraculously transformed to the womb of Rohini, who was another wife of Vasudeva, and was born as Balram. When the time came for the birth of the 8th child, Krishna, the prison cell was filled with divine light, and Krishna was born at midnight on the Ashtami, the 8th day. Hence the festival is known as Gokul Ashtami or Janmashtami. Janma being to be born or birth. And Ashtami is on the dark fortnight in the month of Bhadrapada. On Krishna's birth, Bhagwan Vishnu then revealed to Vasudeva and Devki that they needn't worry, that their child was actually an incarnation, an avatar of himself, and that he would free the world from the tyranny of the evil Kansa. He instructed Vasudeva to take the newborn child to Gokul, a village on the other side of the river, where he would be safe from Kansa's wrath. So as Vasudeva carried Krishna across the Yamuna river, the divine intervention meant that all the guards were subdued in a spell. They all fell asleep, they were unconscious, and all the jail cells, all the doors were open. And there was a great thunderstorm. And eventually Vasudeva carried Krishna across the Yamuna river. But despite the great thunderstorm and the depth of the river waters parted way, making way for him to cross. And the entire journey was protected by the divine forces. In fact, the great king Vasuki himself of the snakes provided protection from the winds and the rains, acting as an umbrella, as a canopy. And Vasudeva reached Gokul and exchanged Krishna with the newborn daughter of couple Nanda and Yashoda, who were 2 simple but noble cowherds. Vasudeva eventually returned to Mathura with the baby girl. So when Kamsa came to kill the child, she slipped from his hands and transformed into the goddess Yogamaya, and she warned Kansa that the child who was destined to kill him was already born and he would never be able to get him, and in fact the child would come to fulfill the prophecy. Krishna eventually grew up in Gokul under the loving care of Yashoda and Nanda. As a child, he was known as Makhanchor with his mischievous antics, especially his love for butter, which earned him the nickname Makhanchor or butter thief. Kanha, as he was also known as, also performed many miracles during his time in Gokul, including subduing the serpent Kalia, lifting the Govardhan hill, and protecting the people of Gokul from various dangers which Kamsa repeatedly sent to finish him off. Janmashtami as a festival is still celebrated today with great devotion and fervor. Devotees all over the Hindu world and beyond observe fasting, sing devotional songs, and enact dramas known as Rasa, Lila. And different parts of India in particular, different states have different ways of how they engage in the celebrations. Many engage in Dahi Handi events, where young men form human pyramids to then climb on top of each other to break a pot of curd hung that was hung up high, which symbolizes Krishna's childhood butter stealing activities. And at midnight, which was the exact time when Sri Krishna was born, devotees stay up late into the night and perform special bhajans, kirtans, rituals and prayers, and they welcome the divine child into their homes and their hearts as a way to purify their homes and hearts. So Janmashtami isn't just a celebration of the birth of a deity, of a god, but really it's a celebration of divine love and dharma and righteousness, that no matter how difficult the situation is, no matter how much the odds are against you, you will never have a situation where good does not triumph over evil and finish off adharma. That the greatest of people and events can come from the most humblest and trying of situations and still end up emerging victorious. Happy Janmashtami to all dear viewers. That's it for today's video. Stay curious and thank you so much for watching.